Hi everyone, it's Thursday night, it's 8:15, it's time for GG Gaming Gone Mad. We've got a massive sports betting weekend ahead of us. Starting on Friday, of course, we've got a couple of Super Rugby games. There's an English Premier League game on Friday night. If you're into your ABSA Premiership football as well. Well, I know what happens on the show. We get talking about rugby and football. We probably won't get on to much else, I can tell you. And it's time to welcome Gary Lentin from GGGaming.bet. Gary, good to have you on the show. I believe you just made it in time. You flew in from Joburg.
Yeah, Brent, hi, how's it? Hello, everybody. Nice to be here again. Yeah, I came back with perfect timing. There was no drama whatsoever, and I had a lot of prep to do for the show. But what happened is I closed the highways because of the opening of Parliament or State of the Nation, which I can't work right. I don't know why. I mean, at the end of the day, how many people are going there compared to how many people go to the Sevens or the soccer or the tennis last week? You know what I'm saying? So they closed off roads. It was just ridiculous. The taxi. And this guy in the taxi, I'll be honest with you, he knew everything. He's so unlucky. Are you battling to hear me there, Brent?
No, I can hear you. I'm just looking around just to check my notes here.
He knew everything. He's so unlucky that there actually is an internet. Otherwise, he could just sit in his taxi and tell everybody how the world works, And there's nothing worse than sitting in a taxi and this guy's telling you every single thing you don't want to hear. Oh, God, you know what I'm saying?
EFF leaving early in order to watch the show.
I'll tell you what, Brent, let's start off with that one. That's got to be worth $250, right?
Right. Definitely. So, Nathan, as long as you met the conditions, you've got yourself a $250 voucher. Yeah, I'll just make a note of it. And I'll send Kerry your details. You do have to have bet at least that in the last 2 weeks. So, guys, there is a link below the description box to the terms and conditions. If you click on that link, you go through to the Good for the Game website. You'll see the TNCs. It's nothing heavy. You've just got to obviously be playing. And welcome to all of the guys in the live chat. I see a lot of them have joined us already, Gary. Just on that State of the Nation address, and I remember years ago the finance address, they used to have spreads on how long the speech would be. You'd get like Trevor Manuel speaking, like, would it be 45 minutes and that? Do they still do that sort of thing on the South African politics?
I haven't seen it. I'm not sure you're allowed to bet on the circus. So I don't know if they do, Brent. I think that all betting on the circus has been suspended. And I mean, let's be honest, that is us. I'm not joking. We're a circus here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but let's see whatever comes out of it. You know what I'm saying? I haven't even had a chance to even turn the TV set on. Like I said, I ran straight upstairs. I switched on the iPad and I jumped onto the show. I literally got in a minute and a half before we got going. But you know what I mean? For me, that's much more important than what they're going to do there. You know what I'm saying?
That comment by Nathan just makes me want to talk about the tennis a bit, Gary. Must have been a great experience.
It was a tremendous experience. At the end of the day, it was hell of a windy in there. That is the truth, and there were a hell of a lot of people. And I would say that definitely think about this. I loved it, and I'm very lucky that I went. That's the truth, and I'm very grateful that I went. But there are a lot of things happened there which made you think, and we all knew it was never going to be played with the intensity of a Wimbledon final or of a real match. I mean, the truth is, Nadal must have touched his bum about 45 times less than he would normally done in a 3-set match. Am I right, Brent? That's the truth, you know what I'm saying? But it was a hell of an experience, and it was really, it was great that I went. I'd like to know from Nathan who he backed there. I'm going to guess he got it wrong. I don't know, Nathan. I don't know, but I got a feeling that you backed Nadal. That's just the feeling that came on. But let's see what your bet was. But it was a great experience and everything, and to see two legends. And, like I said to my dad afterwards, the joy that those two guys had, and that's not why they got into the game to make us happy, but the joy that those two guys have brought to so many tens of millions of people around the world. You know what I'm saying, Brent? You see the women, even the guys, with such passion and everything. They absolutely adore these two blokes. And, I thought he backed Nadal. And how much did you put on there, Nathan? So, yeah, that was the tennis. We'll just see how much Nathan put on there, and then you'll move on from that. And then the one thing you never mentioned, Brent, was that the cricket. I mean, how was that for a game last night? Did you see it at all?
It was a great game. Actually, I didn't see much of it all last night. I actually was playing poker last night. So the guys were keeping the scores up. We didn't have a TV there where we were playing, but the guys were keeping scores. And it sounded like England were absolutely cruising to victory there, Gary. And all of a sudden, it sounds like it was a real nail biter. And credit to the Proteas.
Yeah, they needed 7 in the last over. They should have. You expect them to walk that England, but all right. So you got 250 free bet, Nathan. You need to find something that's a 41 shot roughly, and back that. And let's see if we can tip you a double in the rugby where that gets you right out of it on the tennis. I hope we do. But Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was just such a great game. And, against all odds, because let's be perfectly honest, if you look at that England batting lineup, when they still need 7 or 8, I only needed 8.5 runs and over, not even for not so long. And they've still got Stokes to come, and they've still got all these great batsmen, and Morgan's hitting it around as he wants to. And, I just, maybe they're getting a little bit tough for this cricket side. You know what I'm saying, Brent? Maybe this is the first signs of it. You know what I mean? Because 6 months ago, you would have expected them to curl up and go into their hole and lose with 7 or 8 balls to go, but they fought right to the end. And no, it was a really exciting game, and good luck to them. I think there's another game tomorrow night, I would imagine. Saturday,
yes, there's another game, Durban. Let's hope. I haven't checked the weather, but, normally when there's cricket in Durban, it gets rained out.
No, so, I mean, there's no chance, Now, you can't even get a T2 in Durban, you know what I'm saying, Brent? That's the truth, So let's not even waste too much time on that, because the chances are it will go down to how it was in the one days, you know what I'm saying? That, you know what I mean? One game rained out, and then the third one to see if, hopefully by then, see England will need that to get out of it, but let's see what happens.
Excellent. Well, just to welcome all the guys in the live chat, and also well done to all of last week's winners. Now, we have had a few guys winning that haven't met the requirements. So, guys, please do go and check the TNCs. You must bet in the 2 weeks leading up to the show as well. But also a lot of guys you've collected on the vouchers, because a lot of the guys have been betting with GG Gaming, and some good winners last week. I must tell you, Gary, no one got the kicking meters. Remember, I had that last one.
I saw your email. Unbelievable, Brent. What I think that you said there's 114 meters. And I
think it was 119, and I think the closest there was someone who got 105, but guys were going for like 250, 300, that sort of thing. But it was quite a nice little one for a bit of variation. And I guess we can start with Super Rugby, because we've got 7 games to get through, and on Friday morning we've got a cracking New Zealand derby, and it's the Blues up against Crusaders. And I've just got the odds from your website there, Gary. Blues plus 7.5 at evens, and a bit of money for the Crusaders at minus 7.5. Now, I actually capped this game at 7.5, so I must say I'm battling to see which side to go.
Well, I mean, I was about to read an article about this game, and the guy said I forget the numbers now, but he said something like between the two sides, they've won 13 Super Rugby titles, And then in his next sentence, I thought, well, how relevant is that? Because the Blues have won 3, you know what I'm saying? Who cares, you know what I'm saying?
And when was the last one from the Blues?
Exactly. It must have been in 2003 probably, So let's be honest, the Crusaders dominate the tournament, and they dominate this fixture. There's no doubt about it, Brent. I don't remember the last time the Blues beat the Crusaders. I mean, my memory doesn't go back. I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't remember things as much as I used to. So, but I don't think I can remember the last time the Blues beat the Crusaders. And after last week's performances, you'd have to think that they've got a chance, right? But I think the Crusaders bounce back this weekend. And like I said, I'm still not convinced about the Blues. I think Crusaders bounce back. But I agree with you. It's a good spread. I mean, if we said that the Blues won by 3 points, or if I said the Crusaders won by 16, none of them would really surprise you tomorrow night, right?
That's it. I mean, I think another strategy to follow the Blues, they look to have named, I mean, both sides have named a strong side, but certainly most of the guys that I've been chatting with feel the Crusaders bench is that bit stronger. So it could be one of those bets where you go for a half-time, full-time Blues Crusaders, or just back the Blues on the half-time handicap or something if you fancy them strong. But yeah, the Blues are one of those sides. I mean, I left them alone last week, Gary, and they absolutely slaughtered the Waratahs. I can't catch them, and I'm not going to try and catch them tomorrow morning. I've got meetings and stuff. I won't be watching this game. But it should be a typical New Zealand derby, which is entertaining, hard rugby, probably in the region of 50 to 60 points in the game. It should be a cracking game to watch.
Definitely. People aren't going to work, you know what I mean? Great game to watch and kick off your weekend sport with. I mean, you can't ask for a more entertaining game if the weather plays its part. You know what I'm saying, Brent? Great stadium, just everything, you know what I mean? All the ingredients that you want for an exciting Super Rugby game, and they will deliver.
Excellent. And probably on the other end of the spectrum then, Gary, if we move on to the next game, it's the Australian derby, Rebels up against the Waratahs. Here we got two sides that are absolutely battling for form. The Rebels have lost both their opening games, as have the Waratahs. Although when I wrote the Good for the Game preview today, I did make the point that the Waratahs have looked a bit better to me than the Rebels. They've played some tough games. They've obviously played New Zealand sides, and with the Rebels lost to the Sunwolves away. And I think the Waratahs, I had a look. I see you guys have definitely pushed the Waratahs price out a bit. I think it's 16-10, I think, on your side. Waratahs on the board. Now, the Waratahs have got a superb record away to the Rebels. I think they played 4 times and won 4. So I think the Waratahs are going to win this one.
I do. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I mean, I've been so disappointed with the Rebels already. They started off pretty much where they started off last season, and that was, not able to get anything. And, and I agree with Henrik about that one. The Crusaders can be beaten, it's for sure. I mean, we saw that last week, this Rebels Waratahs, there's nobody there you can rely on, Brent. And you know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if the Waratahs won it, but I'm going to make this thing that I'm going to just say this year, I'm going to leave these Australian sides alone. They drive me mad. They're unpredictable. You know what I mean? They're just, and it's going to be a crappy game, isn't it, Brent? I mean, it's just not going to, for me, it's not. I'll be honest. I'm going to watch the first game, then I'm going to go to the pool and swim my 50 lengths.
That's it. Andemont agrees with you. Two seriously crap teams. So Gary, why don't we do a voucher, a joint voucher, like a 500 across the two games? Okay, because that'll make it quite tricky, and either shirt numbers or points, perhaps total across the games.
Thanks. Okay, let's do this. Let's have a game. Let's go the two home teams against each other. The Blues versus the Rebels.
Blues versus the Rebels. That's a nice one, yeah.
Total points, and Waratahs versus Crusaders. Total points, right? Because you came up with this cross story. I know that it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, and your wife lets you go and put the panties on. That's okay. I mean, I get the message. That's all right with me. So we'll do those two, and we're going to give 500 for each of those. Are you happy with that, Brent?
Okay. Total points in each match.
Total points. So we're going to combine the Blues with the Rebels and the Waratahs with the Crusaders.
Yes. So the Blues are playing the Rebels. The two home teams are effectively playing each other, and the Waratahs are playing the Crusaders. So there's a tricky one for the boys to work out. We need just make sure you don't just list the points now, guys. There's two games. So just say Blues v Rebels. And anybody watching this video without sound is going to wonder what the hell's going on when they see the comments afterwards. Because Blues versus Rebels and the two away teams, Waratahs for Crusaders. We need the points on those. So you can get cracking on those. And it's going to be interesting. I must say, I think it's going to take a couple of minutes longer for the things to come through from the guys. They're going to have to give this one a bit of thought. And 500 Rand voucher on each of those. Gary, that takes us to the next game, and it's an interesting one. I see there's been quite a bit of money here. We've got the Sunwolves at home to the Chiefs, plus 19.5, Chiefs minus 19.5. Now, I capped this game. I was a bit out of my cap. I went with minus 26.5 Chiefs, even taking into account that I knew that Chiefs wouldn't field the full strength side. I still thought they're going to be too strong. I think you guys opened 17.5 on our Sunday handicapping, and you've obviously moved it up a bit, and it looks like the money's continued to come for the Chiefs here at minus 19.5.
Yeah, 19.5, that's where the money is. But if you go 20.5, it will dry up there. Brent is quite sensitive right now, So it does dry up the minute you get too high. I mean, I understand that as well. I mean, so it's another game. I'm not going to be punting on that game. I'll be perfectly honest with you, Brent. I just think that, they're not so bad. I'll tell you what I did do this. I laid a hell of a lot of the Sunwolves to win their conference at 60. It started off at 100-1. I laid 75-1 and again 66-1. I laid a hell of a lot of that this week. I don't know what the guys think they know or whatever, But at those levels, there's money for the.
Yeah, I suppose any other conference they would be considered absolute no-hopers, but in the Australian conference, you never know.
15 Kangaroos could win it. You know what I'm saying, Brent?
Excellent. Well, the picks coming. Just to point Neil there. So Neil, of course, is writing the blog now for you guys, and we carry it on our side as well. We'll have to get Neil on the show sometime as well for a bit of variation.
Maybe next week even, Brent?
Excellent. Neil, let me know if you're free next week. You can come and talk about your picks on the show there. I must say, Gary, I'm on the Chiefs here. I think they're going to win, and I think they're going to win this one well. I do want to ask you from a bookmaker's point of view. You obviously open a line like 19.5, 9 to 10 the pair. Money comes for one, you go 8 evens. A bit more money comes, you go 7-11. At what point do you say, right, the handicap moves to 20.5? Where's the tipping point there?
When other bookmakers have got 20.5, we're probably never going to go to that, Brent. So we can't not the point. As a rule, that's pointless. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so that's why you rather shorten the price.
Exactly. So if I'm going to move something, I'm going to move it 2 or 3 points. And it's whenever I can get. So it would be point. Let's say I'm betting the market's at 5, right? We're at 5, but the market's at 9. I'm stupid to stick around at 5 because if I like the plus, right, I'll rather just go punt the 9 on the plus and go and bet at 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying, Brent? Why take +5 when I can get +9 somewhere else?
Yes.
So depend what other people come out with as well. But if it's 2 points, 2 points don't bother us at all. It's only if it starts to get to the 3-point area that we start to look at it. Can you hear me?
Okay, no, that's interesting. I was wondering where the Can you hear me, Gary? The sound did break up a bit, but am I a bit fuzzy? Because one of our connections, maybe the guys can tell us on the chat whose sound is a little bit off, but hopefully it'll come right. Let's move on to the next game then, and that is the Hurricanes up against the Sharks. And here also you've got Hurricanes.
We've got to do something.
Sorry, Gary.
So let's just
okay. Sorry, we're going to do something on that game, on the Sunwolves game. What do you want to do on that one?
I like these games where it looks like they're going to be charged by the one team, definitely, and maybe the other team. Let's go shirt numbers on that one for 500. And I only have to be, we haven't given the limits where they have to be. That first one, Brent, they have to be within 3 points, I think. And this one, they have to be within 6. 3
points and 6 points for the shirts. Fair enough. So total points in the Sunwolves, shirts in the Sunwolves game. So let's see what the guys come in with there. Evidently, it is my connection, Gary. The guy's saying mine's pixelating a bit. Hopefully, it's come right. I do have a 3G connection, but it's not within my reach at the moment. But if it gets bad, guys, please let us know on the live chat, and I'll quickly change connections. We got Henry coming at 87. Welcome to Mark Barragera. I know he's recently opened a GG Gaming account, and he's what's he got in the previous game? 49 and 58 for the 2 total points there. So quite a few high quotes coming in. Obviously, the boys are expecting, and I've just got to mention Donnie DeToy. Last week, he got the Lions total points 100% correct, and he got within one of the shirt numbers. I think it might have been the Blues Warriors. I can't remember which game, but him and Hendrik were either side of it. It was pretty impressive tipping.
Okay, well done. Yeah, I saw that. I saw him on your email today. He collected a couple of prizes. That's very good. Well done, Donnie. That's excellent, my mate.
Excellent. Let's look for the next game then. It's Hurricanes up against the Sharks. Gary, I see this is another game where the line has moved -5.5 to 7-10, the Hurricanes. Interesting, because I know a lot of the guys on our Good for the Game forum fancy the Sharks to give the Hurricanes a hell of a run. Hurricanes, of course, having traveled back from Argentina, from South Africa, where Sharks have now been in New Zealand.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely the traveling definitely going to help them. This was a big argument I had when setting this market early on Sunday morning. I thought the Hurricanes should be a bigger minus. Dave was very worried about the traveling. I'm not so sure. I think that last week made the Sharks look better than they were. We discussed it on the show a lot, Brent, and we said that game just sets up for the Sharks. Indoors, a side that hadn't played yet. You know what I'm saying? It really set up for the Sharks. I'm not sure that this one sets up for them. I think that, if I'm wrong, I think I saw today that Bosch is out. That would be that's going to definitely be a big gap that's going to be left there tomorrow. I'm the other way. I'm a Hurricanes fan, yeah. I just think that, they have travelled back, but they would have got a lot of confidence out of last week's game, especially that they were able to pick themselves up off the floor after what happened to them in Cape Town the week before, Brent. So this is a side that I think feels that they're on the up now, you know what I mean? And things are falling into place, and the season's now turning into where they expected it to be after the shock of the first week, So I think there's going to be a lot of faith and a lot of belief, not faith, a lot of belief within the camp, and I think that they'll beat the Sharks quite comfortably tomorrow. That's my first tip on the rugby this week.
So you're quite happy to lay the -5.5 Hurricanes there, Gary?
No, I like the Hurricanes.
You like, sorry, you like the Hurricanes. You're actually happy to lay the 11 to 10 Sharks. Sorry, man. And then I see Christopher Rose saying he's waiting for the real Sharks to turn up. And I guess what he means is the Sharks of past seasons, which have blundered around. But I didn't get to watch that game last week, but I thought they were absolutely superb against the Highlanders. But like you, I must say, I'm not strong on this. I'm interested to see what the boys on the rugby show say after this, because I think Hendrik quite fancies the Sharks. I've also got that sneak that, this might just be a very different game to the one it was last week against the Highlanders. Do you want to do anything on this game, Gary?
Yeah, definitely want to do something on this game. Let's see. Let's go for first side to get the yellow card, and when will it be?
Right, first side to get the yellow card, and when?
How long do they think they need? 4 minutes, Brent?
Yeah, 4 minutes should be fine on that one. And no yellow card. Now, interesting, Gary, last week you picked a game for the second week in a row that didn't have a yellow card. And all of the guys who entered got a 200 Rand voucher.
Unbelievable, So this one, I think there will be a yellow card. There definitely will be.
Let's push it to 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes for the yellow card.
More than happy with that.
Push it out to 5 minutes there. So we'll see which team will get the yellow card and the first yellow card and win. That takes us on to the Brumbies up against the Highlanders. Brumbies minus 6.5 at evens. Bit of money here for the Highlanders. Plus 6.5 at 8 to 10.
It's just for me, it's a nothing game. Not one I'm going to get involved in. I think it's a reasonable spread. I think it could go either way.
Yeah, it's a tough one as well. In fact, if anything, I'm leaning towards the Brumbies. I think I wasn't impressed with what I did see in the highlights of the Highlanders last week. And I think the Brumbies pack can monster them a bit up front. We'll certainly have, I haven't seen the Brumbies team, but if Fainga, their hooker, is playing, there's no doubt he's going to get on the score sheet off a rolling more. But not a game I'm particularly excited about either. Good to see the predictions coming in here for the yellow card. And Gary, do you want to do something on this one then as well?
Let's just go first try scorer. First try scorer, and off we go. There will probably
first try scorer?
Yeah. First try scorer, that's all we
First
need.
try scorer, the actual first try scorer. Okay, great. I always make these notes while we're talking, Gary, so that I can try and help myself with the admin, but I cannot. I promise you, at the end of the show, I can't read my writings. But you know what? You can watch it back. So when I do the admin of the show, I watch the show, but you can watch it on YouTube. You can play it faster. So you can play it at like double the speed.
Move your finger.
I go,
I'm
amazed at how quick I think I normally talk at double the speed. So it really sounds quick when I go that way. Let's go on to the next game then. And we've got, did we do something on the Brumbies? Yes, we did the first try scorer. Lions plus 6.5, 8 to 10. Stormers minus 6.5. There's been a lot of backwards and forwards on this one all week. Stormers got a couple of injury problems. Lions, a lot of people weren't impressed with their team. But if anything, it looks like the money's coming for the Lions.
I'm not sure it will stay like that, Brent. Like you said, it's been a lot of to and fro here. Another game. I don't know why I just don't feel as sort of absorbed in this week's rugby as I did last week, to be perfectly honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I just seem to be matchups for me, other than the Blues, which I think is a great matchup. The other ones, to me, I don't know why. So, you know what I mean? Even we're going to get onto the ones later. I think it's the Reds going to Argentina. Another game that, how do you get excited about that? But this game, you should get excited about it. Two local teams. But, when what we saw last week in the derby here between the Bulls and the Stormers, that was pretty mundane stuff. You know what I'm saying? And, I hope this game doesn't go for it. So, we definitely, for me, again, I just don't have a feeling for it. So, I'm not even going to tip anything. What are you going to tip there, Brent?
Well, just quickly to touch on last week's game, when it was about 11 o'clock on Saturday morning last week, pouring with rain in Joburg. And it poured probably for 12 hours solid, absolutely drenching conditions. So I said no to all the boys. I said under 48.5 points. And the line, I thought it would move down to about 44.5, but it edged down to sort of 47.5. And then the rain stopped. And that drainage on that Ellis Park is absolutely amazing. I knew that going in, but I thought it would carry on raining, And in the end, it arrived. There was 47 points. But after a frantic start, I think there were 30 points by half time or something like that. It looked like a loser all over. So I was pretty happy with that. This one, I've got a feeling the Lions are going to do something here, Gary. I've got a feeling the Lions are going to push the Stormers and possibly beat them.
They could easily do that. I think that, if you force me into doing something there, I don't know what I would do. And I know what the bet we're going to offer on this one, Brent, but we're going to make it, we're giving no leeway, 0.
Right.
And that is, you have to get it on the number, right?
Okay.
But we're going to make it for 1,500, not for 500.
1,500.
And that is, when will the Stormers concede their first point? Doesn't matter what it is. Just what minute will the Stormers concede their first point?
What minute they'll concede their first point. Okay. 1,500 Rand voucher, guys. No leeway. You've got to hit it on the nose. 7th minute, 9th minute, whatever it is. So let's see. Good to see Christopher Rowe coming in, agreeing me there on the Lions. So, I'm thinking that they could do it. But, I'm also, for some reason, not that into it this week, Gary. And I think it's also a combination. It's been, for me, a bit of a crazy week work-wise. I haven't had my chance to wrap my head around the form. I think after I speak to the guys on the show tonight and the guys who've been doing their homework, if I can put it that way, they may well rope me into a couple of big bets. So let's go with that one then. First points, and this will be the first points conceded of the season by the Stormers. and what minute that's going to be in. So that's interesting. I mean, last week, Gary, obviously no one got close because there wasn't a point conceded. Garth Ridgway actually came in. He was the closest. I think he went Stormers 55th minute or something. I mean, there was just no one getting close. But I can't see it happening at Ellis Park.
No. It can never happen in Joburg. That there's no chance of. You know what I'm saying, man, Brent? I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be a decent game to watch, I would think. You know what I mean? Better than the two games that they were involved in last week. But I still, like I said, I'm definitely going to watch them. It's better than a lot of other things that you could do. But again, like I said, the enthusiasm is just not the same as last week. And like I said, now you look at this game, and again, how excited can you become over this game? And the thing is, the only difference now is that the Jaguares need to win this game, mate. Brent, after a great start where they thrashed the Lions, then they're going to give away points last week. You know, they're going to get on the road soon enough. You know what I mean? It's not as though they're going to sit in Argentina for the rest of their lives. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is a must-win game for them. And that's the truth. I think if the Jaguares went and lost this game, which I don't see them doing, but if they lost this game, I think their season's pretty much over. And they're the type of side that they can turn into a bunch of sulking little wets. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think they're going to bounce back. And I think that they're going to win it. I think they'll beat that spread.
Can I suggest that we do our same bet? See that not many people will actually probably be sitting up to watch this one. Should we do the Jaguares kicking meters again?
Definitely.
So I'm going to give the guys. So once again, I think we make it. They got to get within 10. And I'll if you watch the start of the show, you'll be able to see what they got last week. That's no indicator what it will be this week. So let's get Jaguares kicking meters. So it'll be taken off the SpreadX official result. And just to mention, it includes penalty kicks and drop goals and conversions. It's the total kicking meters. There are official counts for that. And I think you got me started on that one last week, Gary. You were saying it would be nice if we could see running meters and all of that sort of stuff like in the NFL. And we got our first picks coming through. So you've got to be within 10 on that one.
Yeah. I think what we want to do for next week, Brent, it's too late now. I can't just dump it on you now, right? But what we want to do next week is we're going to have a competition. The team that scores the most points, that they're going to have to get this right, okay?
Okay.
The team that concedes points.
Right.
The team that scores the earliest. So it's going to be a five-team thing and then 2 individuals. The team that scores the earliest. The team that gets the most yellow card minutes. So you add up all the minutes that they get the yellow cards. It's going to be a total fun thing, right, Brent?
Yes.
And the team that that concedes the least shirt numbers, right?
Okay.
Those are the 5. Guys can start thinking about it early, right?
Yes.
And the 2 individuals will be the player that scores the first try of the earliest try, not the first try of the game, the earliest try in their respective games, right? And the player that gets, let's think of something else, and the player that gets the earliest yellow card. You can get all those 7 things right. We're going to give you. We'll work on the. You don't have to get it exactly right. Well, the names you're going to have to, but the times you won't have to. We're going to give 35,000 rand for anybody that gets it all right. We'll drop to 25,000 for 6, 15,000 for 5, and then from 4 we'll just give 5 grand and split it up. You know.
Excellent. I'll tell you what we'll do. Then we'll work it out a bit early in the week. And we'll put it up on the website and all the rest. But the entries will have to come on the live show. So the guys, but at least they'll know coming into the show what the competition is, and we can discuss. And we might, we'll talk about everything that needs to apply to terms and conditions and all of that. So we'll put that up. So look, early next week, guys, we'll come out with that. But the competition will be run on the live show. And
the problem is that they could, it doesn't help somebody to win 35 grand. If all they've done is wagered 200 rand in the last 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying, Brent?
Yes.
So they're giving weeks notice, right? They got 8 days to pile it up there. You know what I'm saying, Brent? And we're not going to check what price the things are. You know what I mean? If they want to choose, you know what I mean? If they want to go and lump 35,000 rand on the Chiefs outright, well, they can do that. We'll never fight with them, They just have to spend the money, right?
That's it, yeah. It'll be interesting to see. But, of course, reminding that, let's just say a guy spends 5 grand, he'll still qualify for that. It's not like he can't win the prize at all. He could still qualify for whatever he spent over the previous 2 weeks.
So, yeah. So, we're just giving them the chance so they don't look like a schmuck. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the schmuck that sat at a slot machine that had a 7 million rand jackpot. You know what I mean? And instead of putting in 3 coins, you put in 2 coins, and out comes 150 grand. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice win, 150 grand. But I promise you now, you're only going to think about the 6,850,000 you left behind at the casino, right? So we're going to definitely do what I want to do at the Master. Elton, I'm happy that you asked. What I want to do with it, because we go up and down at the office, the best way to do it, and we just don't know. Why don't you guys give it some thought,
Right.
and send a few ideas through to you, Brent, or through to us. You can send it to Kerry at GGGaming.bet or to whoever it is, and give a few ideas, and we can look at the ideas, and perhaps we'll select the best 2 or 3 ideas, not next week, the following week, and then you and I can sit together, Brent, and devise a competition. So put in there how much you'd like the entry fees to be, what the rules you'd like there to be, and all those how long you want it to run for, and all that type of stuff, and what exclusions you'd like, and we'll just work it out and see what the people want from there, and we'll give you a nice competition. We'll add in 25,000 rand to the winner and 15,000 rand to second. So you know what I mean. We'll make it nice. Let's see what the guys. But let's get your feedback. You know what I mean. It's not
okay, yeah. Again, guys, to all the guys on the live chat, feel free to get hold of me. We'll put a post on the forum thread as well and get some suggestions, because I know the boys do enjoy that competition. But it's always nice to refine it, make it something that guys want to play, and you want as many guys as possible playing as well. So we'll definitely do that, Gary.
Yeah, that would be
brings us to the end of the rugby. Obviously, lots of other rugby this weekend, but we've also got a full house of English Premier League action, and I think a big game on Sunday. Is it? Let's just have a look.
Yeah, I think it's a Chelsea Man United game, isn't it?
That's a Chelsea.
Just so the guys know, we try to get the video of the one horse working, and the remark from Natalie or the Larkers from Lucky. We didn't manage to do it, you and I, Brent. I sent you the link too late. We'll definitely have it next week, and you've got it there on your phone now, and we'll play around with it, just so everybody knows if they're tuning in now. We haven't ignored the racing. We know where we are with it. We'll get it all up to date. And also, the guys must also realize that you are going to start sending out forms to them next week, during the course of the week, for at least 5 of them to sign as part of the syndicate, Brent?
That's it, yeah. So we can get all the colours and that sorted out. And you were saying, actually, that's a good idea. Let's cover that now, Gary. You were saying you got a bit of an update from Lucky on the horses? Well,
I wanted to show you the horse working. So the one horse, he's laid off as he got there, and he's only started to put a little bit of pressure on her now. I forget the name. Let me go there now. It's not the one that you saw working there, because that one only going into work now. She's called Incense. So we haven't prepped her at all. She's probably 6 weeks away from having her first real pressure being put on her. The other one, Loving the Big, she was coming along great, but on Tuesday, she jarred her shoulder in fast work sprint up. So she's going to give her a little bit of recovery rest, and she'll be back. They bounce back from this injury a lot. It's not a problem at all. But she was nearly ready to race, to be perfectly honest with you. But we're now going to wait 4 or 5 weeks. My experience is that if they get a little bit sore or lame as a baby, as a 2-year-old, it's them saying they're not ready. So rather just back off. But I'd like the guys to see the work, because it was fairly impressive, Brent. And I think she has got a future. You've got the video of it, and we'll get it up there soon. But I just want to say something with the sock. I think last week,
I might be able to play it now, Gary. Should we just try it? I just want to try it.
Try it.
Let me know if it comes up. I don't know if we'll get any sound or anything, but let's just have a look.
No, there wasn't any. Anyway, it was just a guy filming it. I think it was Lucky heavy breathing. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even have to worry about the sound.
There we go. Tell me if that comes up.
Yeah, there it is. No, there it was.
Oh, is it? Okay, now I'll refine it. I'll refine it next week.
Okay.
And we'll get the video up. We'll be able to show it next week. That'll be great.
And then last week we did tip a soccer double, Brent. We were quite strong in it. It was the Everton and Sheffield United. And they both came home smoking. I mean, I know that Sheffield United scored late to win 2-1, but Everton won easy enough. I think that, let me have a quick look here. I'm going to tip Wolves to beat Leicester. I've got a price boost.
That's Friday night.
It's Friday night. Wolves to beat Leicester. I think they'll get something. And then let's go for that big game. Let's go for the Sun. Is it Sunday? Which game are we looking for? We want to look for I think it's
Monday now.
It's Monday night.
Oh, it's Monday night. Chelsea United.
Yeah, I think we want to go for. In my opinion, I'm going to give a tip there. Chelsea -1.5. So in other words, Chelsea need to win by clear goals to win that bet that I'm tipping there. So I'm going Wolves to beat Leicester on Friday, and then we sandwich it with the Monday night game, Chelsea to win by more than a goal. So -1.5.
Okay, excellent. That'll be a nice price there.
And you'll get the money.
Okay, excellent. That's Gary's. And I must say, Gary, as much as we tend to talk rugby, because a lot of our guys love the rugby, I know you're a top class with your football, and you've been on an incredible run over the years with your English Premier League punting. So the boys will take well to take notice of that. Otherwise, anything else on the weekend stand out for you, Gary?
No, I think that's pretty much it, Brent. I mean, we've gone through a little bit of cricket tomorrow. That will be fantastic. There is still great rugby, although the betting looks a little bit tougher than it did last week. Then there's obviously the EPL. And no, there's a lot to do. We're not going to be short of sport. That's the truth, Brent.
Excellent. Yeah, that's for sure. And good luck to all the boys in the comps. Gary, it's been great catching up with you. And look forward to sort of getting all the horse things going. The boys in the syndicate are getting excited. And I must try to get out there to the stable sometime. You must actually let me know if you come up and have got some time to head out there. I'm sure a few of the boys will come out.
I'm definitely going to do it towards the end of the month. So let's try to put it together. So I'll look at my diary. Normally I book too close to give anybody any advance in the morning, but I'll have a look now and I'll choose a weekend and I'll make sure that I'm there on a Sunday and we'll go for a drive,
Excellent. Gary, thanks very much. And I look forward to chatting to you next week and no doubt in between as well.
Yeah, can't wait, Brent. Have a great weekend, guys. Brent, thanks so much for everything. We'll talk next week.
Excellent. That was Gary Lentin from GGGaming.bet. Thanks, Gary. Just a reminder, guys, you can stay close. We've got Oracle Rugby and Henrik on the Handicap Rugby Chat That Matters. Most of the focus is going to be on Super Rugby, but we'll also probably touch on some European rugby. I know Henrik doesn't study up on that, but the Oracle, well, he's very close to the betting Stig, who made his debut last week, and that was very enjoyable as well. We'll see what his tips are on that. So we'll see you in about 8 minutes' time. If you are new to this channel, please do go down below the YouTube video and hit the subscribe button. See you in about 7 minutes.